Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Dan. I am the tech writer here at ShipWorks, and I'll be guiding you through how to add your Express1 account to the ShipWorks software. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll click on the Manage tab, and then next you'll click on the Shipping Settings button. When the Shipping Settings screen loads, let's go ahead and select Express1, and then we'll click on the Setup button. That'll take us into the Setup Wizard. And then on the next screen, let's go ahead and select Use an existing Express1 account. You do have the option to create a new account if you wish to, but in this case, we're just going to add our own existing account. Let's go ahead and click Next. And then on the account registration screen, enter in your information about your account. Notice that in our example here, it pulled the address information from our store setup. So we try to make that easy for you. But if you need to fill that information out, go ahead and feel free to do that and click Next. And then we'll enter in our Express1 account number and password. Once we've entered the Express1 account number and password, we'll go ahead and click Next, and that will actually get us connected to Express1. There's a few more screens to go through here. Let's go ahead and select the type of printer that we'll be connecting to or printing our labels to. Standard, of course, would be like if you're printing to an inkjet or a laser printer. For older thermal printers like the Zebra 2844, you may choose EPL, and most thermal printers nowadays use the ZPL printer language. That's what we'll be using today, so we're going to go ahead and select thermal ZPL. And then again, we're going to go ahead and click Next to get to the next screen. The origin address screen allows us to add additional origin addresses for Express1. So if we are maybe shipping from more than one warehouse, we could go in by clicking the New button and enter in a second or even a third or fourth warehouse address so that we could select from those when shipping with Express1. We actually only ship from one location, so we're going to go ahead and just cancel out of this screen. So go ahead and click Cancel, and then we'll go ahead and click Next. On the shipment defaults, the defaults are kind of cool. These are the base default settings that you want to have set up for Express1. So by clicking on the blue link there, we can go in and set up, for example, the service that we typically ship with Express1. We could enter in weights, we could enter in dimensions. Maybe we want to put a custom message on the label. We could type that into one of the memo fields. So these, again, are the base defaults that come up when you select Express1 as your shipping provider when creating a shipment. Of course, you can always make changes to those. It's just these are the most common that we use, so we don't have to select those every time we go to ship with Express1. So take a few moments to take a look at that, and then click OK when you are finished. The additional defaults are beyond the scope of this conversation. Those are our shipping rules. There are other tutorials available for you if you choose to look into that. And then on the printing setup screen, we're really just going to leave these as the default. Automatic printing, we're going to leave that set to the default to automatically print the label when we're done processing the shipment. And then the output rules really just tell it ShipWorks where to print the label to. So if you have a thermal printer or a standard printer, and when you click Next on this screen, you may be prompted to select your printers. You can certainly do that. We've already selected ours, so it just took us to the next screen. We can add an email account into ShipWorks, even multiple email accounts. So if you want ShipWorks to email your customers a shipping notification, for example, you could configure that. We're not going to go through that in this tutorial. There are additional tutorials on adding email accounts to ShipWorks. And then the local statuses, we're just going to leave those alone, leave those defaults and click Next. And you're now registered with Express1. Now you can click the Buy Postage button here if you need to add postage to your Express1 account. You'll notice that the current amount is available to you there as well. If you want to add additional postage, you can go ahead and do that. We're just going to go ahead and cancel out. And then we're going to click Finish, and that gets us connected to Express1. Now you'll notice on this screen that we can get back to those defaults that we set up earlier. So if you need to make changes to those, you can certainly do that. You can go in and modify those and set up your defaults again. You can get into your existing account by clicking the Edit button. This is the account that we just added, but you'll notice that we can get back in there to update our password, add postage, and so on. And if we scroll down on this screen, there's available services and available package types. These are nice because we can turn on or off any services that we use or don't use. Same is true for any package types that we may or may not use. By unchecking those, it prevents them from showing up on the shipping screen. So it cleans up the interface a little bit. We don't have to have all of those options there. We can remove those options that we don't use when we're shipping with Express1. So you can take a moment to review those, turn on or off any services or package types that you don't use. When you're done, click close, and that completes the setup of Express1. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.